The galaxy changed the moment Palpatine looked into the Force and saw her. It wasn't Vader he sensed. It wasn't Luke hiding on Tatooine. It was Princess Leia Organas of Alderaan. Young, fierce, and brimming with raw, untapped power. The Emperor smiled. The daughter of Anakin Skywalker had been hidden in plain sight, raised by Senator Leia Organas as royalty. But Palpatine knew the truth. The Force doesn't lie. He summoned Vader to the throne room. "There is another Skywalker," Palpatine hissed, his yellow eyes gleaming. "Your daughter lives, and she will serve me." Vader's mask tilted slightly. Shock, confusion, then silence. "You will retrieve her," the Emperor commanded. Alive. Vader had no choice. He obeyed. The plan was simple. Palpatine fabricated intelligence that Leia Organas was funding rebel cells. Star Destroyers descended on Alderaan like vultures. Imperial forces stormed the royal palace under the pretense of a security inspection. Leia, barely 19, stood defiant as stormtroopers surrounded her family. Bail tried to negotiate. He tried to reason. But Vader's shadow filled the doorway, and reason died in that moment. "Princess Leia Organas," Vader's voice rumbled through his mask. "You are under arrest for treason against the Empire." Leia's heart pounded. She reached for a blaster, but the Force, unfamiliar, overwhelming, surged through her. The weapon flew from her hand before she even touched it. She gasped. Vader noticed. "Take her," he ordered. Bail lunged forward. "No, she's just a girl." A stormtrooper struck him down. Queen Breha screamed. Leia was dragged away in binders, her world collapsing. As the shuttle lifted off, she looked back at Alderaan one last time. She didn't know it yet, but she would never see her home again. Aboard the Imperial Star Destroyer, Vader stood silently, watching the princess through the transparent steel. His daughter. He had failed Padme. He had lost everything. And now, Palpatine would take her too. But the Emperor's plan was already in motion. And Leia Organas' fall had only just begun. They didn't give her a cell. They gave her a throne of suffering. Deep within the bowels of the Executor, Leia was chained in a meditation chamber, cold, silent, and soaked in the dark side. No torture de risa, no interrogations. Just him. Emperor Palpatine visited her every day. At first, Leia resisted. She spat insults. She screamed for her parents. She clung to everything Bail and Breha had taught her. Courage, honor, justice. But Palpatine was patient. He didn't break her body. He broke her mind. "Your parents lied to you," he whispered one night, circling her like a predator. "Bail Organas was not your father. Breha Organas was not your mother. You are the daughter of Anakin Skywalker, the chosen one." Leia's breath hitched. "You're lying." "Am I?" Palpatine's grin widened. "Feel the Force, child. It calls to you. It always has. You were never meant to be a senator's daughter. You were born for power." He showed her visions. Padme dying. Anakin burning. The Jedi Temple in flames. He twisted every truth into a weapon, blaming the Jedi for the war, the Senate for its corruption, and the rebellion for using her as a pawn. "Your so-called allies hide behind you," Palpatine hissed. "They let a princess take the fall while they scatter like cowards. Where are they now, Leia? Where's Mon Mothma? Where is your precious rebellion?" Leia's hands trembled. Silence. Weeks passed. The isolation crushed her. No rescue came. No hope arrived. She was alone. Then, one day, Palpatine offered her a choice. "You can rot here, forgotten, or you can embrace your destiny. I will teach you the ways of the Force. You will have the strength to reshape the galaxy. No more lies. No more weakness. Only power." Leia looked up hollow-eyed. She thought of her parents. She thought of Alderaan. And she thought of the rebellion that abandoned her. Her voice was barely a whisper. "Teach me." Palpatine's laughter echoed through the chamber. "Good. Your training begins now." The girl who was once Princess Leia Organas began to die. She was no longer Leia Organas. That girl was dead. Now, she was something else. Something darker. Clad in sleek black armor with a crimson lightsaber at her side, she knelt before the Emperor as he bestowed her new title, Darth Leia, apprentice to the dark side. Vader watched from the shadows, silent. His daughter had fallen, and Palpatine had orchestrated it all. Leia's first mission was simple: destroy a rebel outpost on Dantooine. No survivors. She descended on the base like a storm. Her lightsaber carved through rebel soldiers with precision and fury. She used the Force to crush defenses, rip blast doors apart, and choke officers mid-sentence. The rebels didn't stand a chance. When the smoke cleared, Leia stood alone among the corpses, her yellow eyes burning. The Emperor was pleased. Vader was unsettled. Over the following months, Leia became the Empire's most feared weapon. She was faster than Vader, more strategic, and utterly ruthless. Where Vader inspired fear through raw power, Leia inspired terror through cunning and cruelty. She interrogated prisoners with psychological precision, turning allies against each other. She hunted Jedi survivors with relentless efficiency. She was everything Palpatine had hoped for, and Vader began to fall out of favor. The rivalry between father and daughter became palpable. Palpatine encouraged it, pitting them against each other in missions, competitions, and combat trials. Leia won more often than not. She was younger, sharper, and unencumbered by Vader's mechanical limitations. "You grow weak, Lord Vader," Palpatine mused one day, watching Leia duel training droids. "Perhaps your apprentice has surpassed you." Vader's fist clenched, but he said nothing. Leia noticed, and she smiled. During one mission briefing, Leia openly challenged Vader's strategy. "Your methods are outdated," she said coldly. "You rely on brute force. I rely on precision." Vader's breathing grew louder. "You know nothing of the Force, child. I know enough to surpass you," Leia shot back. Palpatine laughed. "Such fire. Darth Leia, you will lead the assault on the rebel fleet at Yavin. Succeed, and you will take Vader's place at my side." Leia bowed. "As you wish, my master." Vader watched her leave, his heart, what remained of it, torn. He had lost Padme. He had lost Luke. And now, he was losing Leia to the dark side. But deep down, a flicker remained. A father's love. A desperate hope. Would it be enough? Luke Skywalker stood in the twin suns of Tatooine, holding a hologram projector. The image flickered. A young woman in black armor, wielding a red lightsaber, cutting down rebel soldiers. "No," Luke whispered. That's her." Obi-Wan Kenobi stood beside him, his face heavy with sorrow. "Yes, Luke. That is Princess Leia Organas. Your sister." Luke's world shattered. My sister?" His voice cracked. "I have a sister, and she has fallen to the dark side," Obi-Wan said quietly. "Palpatine took her, twisted her. She is now his enforcer." Luke staggered back, his mind reeling. He'd never known, never suspected. He'd grown up alone on this desert rock, dreaming of adventure, and all this time, his twin sister was out there, suffering, falling. "We have to save her," Luke shouted. "We have to, Luke, listen to me." Obi-Wan interrupted, his tone firm. "The dark side is seductive. It consumes. Leia has been trained by the Emperor himself. She is dangerous. She is lost." "No." Luke's voice was steel. "I don't believe that. If Vader can be redeemed, so can she. She's my sister, Ben. I won't abandon her." Obi-Wan studied the boy. So much like Anakin. So much hope. So much recklessness. "Then you must train," Obi-Wan finally said. "If you wish to face her, you will need to become a Jedi. But know this, Luke. Saving Leia may cost you everything." Luke didn't hesitate. "I don't care. I'll do whatever it takes." Over the following weeks, Luke trained harder than ever. He practiced lightsaber forms, meditated in the Force, and studied the Jedi Code. But every night, he dreamed of Leia. He felt her through the Force, her pain, her rage, her darkness. And beneath it all, a flicker of light. She wasn't gone. Not yet. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, Leia led an assault on a rebel convoy. She stood on the bridge of her Star Destroyer, watching the fleeing ships. Her yellow eyes narrowed. "Destroy them all," she commanded coldly. But as the turbo lasers fired, she felt something. A presence. Warm. Familiar. Reaching out to her through the Force. "Luke." Her hand trembled. For a split second, confusion flickered across her face. Then she crushed it, buried it. Fire again, she hissed. The convoy was annihilated. But Luke's presence lingered, and for the first time in months, Leia felt something other than rage. Fear. The rebellion was dying, and Leia was the executioner. Under her command, Imperial intelligence became a scalpel. She didn't crush the rebellion with brute force, she dissected it. She intercepted communications, turned spies, and exposed safe houses. Every rebel cell she dismantled brought her closer to the leadership, and she was methodical. Mon Mothma barely escaped with her life when Leia's fleet ambushed a diplomatic summit on Chandrila. Admiral Akbar's flagship was destroyed. General Dodonna went into hiding. The rebellion's command structure crumbled. Han Solo watched it all fall apart. He'd known Leia before. Briefly, a fiery princess with sharp words and sharper instincts. He'd admired her, maybe even cared about her. But now she was the Empire's monster. She's not the same person, Chewie growled beside him. I know, Han muttered, staring at the hologram of Leia's latest assault. But she's still in there. Somewhere. Han took command of a small, covert resistance cell, smugglers, defectors, and disillusioned soldiers. They operated in the shadows, moving supplies, rescuing prisoners, and staying one step ahead of the Empire. But Leia's network was closing in. One night, Han's team raided an Imperial facility to recover stolen intel. They were ambushed. Leia had predicted their move. Han barely escaped, but 3 of his crew didn't make it. He found a hologram message waiting on his datapad. Leia's face appeared, cold and emotionless. Hello, Captain Solo, she said, her voice like ice. You're predictable. Keep running. I'll find you eventually. The transmission ended. Han slammed his fist into the wall. Damn it, Chewie roared in frustration. The rebellion was fracturing. Hope was fading. And Leia was winning. But then, a message came through from Obi-Wan Kenobi. It was brief. Luke is ready. Meet us on Dagobah. Han frolvnid. Who the hell is Luke? Chewie tilted his head. They had no choice. The rebellion needed a miracle. And maybe, just maybe this Luke was it. Meanwhile, aboard her Star Destroyer, Leia stood alone in her meditation chamber. She felt the dark side swirling around her, feeding her power. But beneath it, that warmth again, that presence. Luke, she clenched her fists. Stay away, she whispered to the Force. Stay away, or I'll destroy you too. But deep down she knew, the collision was inevitable. The meeting was forbidden, dangerous. But Vader didn't care. He found Leia alone on Mustafar, meditating in the ruins of the old Separatist facility, the very place where Anakin Skywalker had burned. Leia turned as Vader's shadow fell over her. What do you want? She asked coldly. To speak, Vader replied. Alone. Leia stood, her hand drifting toward her lightsaber. If this is a test from the Emperor, it is not. Vader's voice was heavy. The Emperor will betray you, Leia, just as he betrayed me, just as he betrays everyone. Leia's eyes narrowed. Why should I believe you? Vader stepped closer. Because I am your father. Leia's jaw tightened. She'd known for months. Palpatine had told her. But hearing it from Vader, it was different. You abandoned me, she hissed. You let him take me. You watched. I had no choice, Vader said, his voice cracking slightly. But I will not lose you again. Together, we can overthrow Palpatine. We can rule the galaxy. Father and daughter. Leia studied him, her mind racing. Power. Control. Freedom from Palpatine's manipulation. It was tempting. And what happens after? She asked. You and I rule together? An empire of Sith. We bring order, Vader said. True order. No more lies. No more betrayal. Leia was silent. Then, slowly she nodded. Agreed. But if you betray me, I will kill you. Vader inclined his head. Understood. They began planning. Secret meetings. Hidden communications. They would strike when Palpatine was vulnerable. Leia would feign loyalty while Vader gathered allies within the Imperial ranks. It was dangerous, but it was their only chance. Palpatine, however, was not blind. He knew they were plotting, and he smiled. Let them scheme, he whispered to himself. It will make their fall so much sweeter. Meanwhile, Luke Skywalker arrived on Dagobah. He met Yoda, the ancient Jedi Master, who agreed to train him. But Yoda warned him, "Your sister, strong in the dark side she is. Save her, you wish. But careful, you must be. The dark side, seductive it is." Luke's resolve didn't waver. "I'll bring her back. I have to." Yoda sighed. "Then ready yourself, young Skywalker. A great battle comes." And across the galaxy, the pieces moved. Luke, Leia, Vader, Palpatine. The collision was inevitable. The galaxy would burn. The throne room was silent. Then the doors exploded inward. Luke Skywalker stood in the smoke, his green lightsaber ignited. Across the chamber, Darth Leia rose from her knees, her crimson blade humming to life. "You shouldn't have come here," she said coldly. "I came for you," Luke replied, his voice steady. "I'm not leaving without my sister." Leia's eyes flared. "I'm not your sister. I am Darth Leia, apprentice to the Emperor. And you are a fool." She attacked. The duel was vicious. Leia fought with precision and fury, every strike calculated to kill. Luke defended, barely keeping up. She was faster, stronger, more trained. But Luke didn't fight back. He only blocked. "Leia, please." Luke shouted. "You don't have to do this. I know you're still in there." "You know nothing." Leia roared, slashing at him. "I am power. I am free. You're a prisoner." Luke countered, deflecting her blade. "Palpatine used you. He lied to you." Leia hesitated. Just for a second. Luke pressed on. "You're Leia Organas, daughter of Bail and Breha. You grew up on Alderaan. You believed in justice and hope and stop." Leia screamed, force pushing him across the room. Luke crashed into a pillar, gasping. But her hands were shaking. Memories flooded back. Alderaan's green hills. Her mother's smile. Her father's voice. "You are braver than you know, Leia." "No," she whispered. "No, that's not real. It's a lie." It's the truth," Luke said, standing. "And you know it. Feel it, Leia. Feel the light." Leia's lightsaber wavered. Tears streamed down her face. For the first time in months, she felt conflict. Then, a voice echoed through the chamber. Cold, amused. How touching. Emperor Palpatine stepped from the shadows, flanked by Vader. His yellow eyes gleamed. "You think you can save her, young Skywalker? She is mine, body and soul." Luke ignited his saber. "Not anymore." Palpatine laughed. "Foolish boy. Darth Leia, kill him." Leia's blade rose, but her hand trembled. She looked at Luke, then at Palpatine, then at Vader. "Do it," Palpatine commanded. Leia's breath hitched. She couldn't. She couldn't. Vader stepped forward. "No, she will not." Palpatine's smile vanished. "What?" Vader ignited his lightsaber. "This ends, my master." The throne room erupted into chaos. Vader and Palpatine clashed in a storm of lightning and fury. The Emperor screamed in rage, unleashing torrents of Force energy. Vader deflected, his lightsaber blazing red. "You dare betray me, Vader?" Palpatine shrieked. "I am Anakin Skywalker," Vader replied, "and I will not lose my children again." Luke rushed to join, but Palpatine blasted him with lightning. Luke screamed, collapsing. Leia Vachid, freezing. The Emperor turned to her. "Kill them, Leia," Palpatine hissed. "Prove your loyalty. Kill them all." Leia's blade ignited. She looked at Luke, writhing in pain. She looked at Vader, struggling against the Emperor. And she felt it. The light. The warmth. The love. She remembered. Everything. Her parents. Her home. Her brother. "No, Leia Vispirited. I am Leia Organas. And you are finished." She lunged at Palpatine, her blade burning crimson. The Emperor barely blocked, shock flickering across his face. Vader struck from the other side. Together, father and daughter drove Palpatine back. Luke rose, his green saber igniting. "Leia." She turned. Their eyes met. And for the first time, she smiled. "Together?" she asked. Together, Luke agreed. The Skywalker twins attacked as one. Leia's fury and Luke's hope combined into a force Palpatine couldn't withstand. Their blades crossed, slicing through his defenses. Vader seized the Emperor from behind, holding him in place. Now, Vader roared. Luke and Leia struck together, their lightsabers piercing Palpatine's chest. The Emperor screamed, his body convulsing with dark energy. Then silence. He crumbled to ash. Vader collapsed, his breathing labored. Luke and Leia knelt beside him. "Father," Leia whispered, tears streaming down her face. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." Vader's mask tilted toward her. "You are free now. Both of you." Luke removed Vader's helmet. Anakin Skywalker's scarred face looked up at his children. He smiled. "I am proud," Anakin whispered. "So proud." His eyes closed. He was gone. Luke and Leia stood together, holding each other as the throne room burned around them. The Sith were destroyed, the prophecy fulfilled, and the Skywalker legacy redeemed. Months later, the rebellion regrouped. Han Solo found Leia on Chandrila, standing beneath the stars. "You all right, princess?" he asked gently. Leia smiled. "I will be." Luke appeared beside her. The twins looked out at the galaxy, ready to rebuild. Together, the Force was finally balanced.